I'm gonna go off on a little tangent. So typically around now, as a trainer, I've been a trainer for like 3 years. I've seen the clients kind of decline and on the coaching side as well. And that's just because like holidays and stuff like that and people taking vacations, etc. But before I let you move on, there's one good point about this situation actually. When people sign on with me in like October, November, September, October, November, that fall area, that's when I know that those clients are going to be the ones that are on point and the ones that are going to get results as long as they're staying with me, right? Like they have to stay with me through like the holidays. But what I'm saying is like for you guys out there who you might be in a spot where you want to transition to something different with your fitness, consider this like this may help you really reach your goal, right? So the goal is hard as it is, right? Whatever your goal may be. For me, of course, it's bodybuilding, whatever. And that goal changes year to year, sometimes season to season. But it's going to be hard. Okay, we know this. We already know this, and that's why we're putting it off. But think about this: if you were to sign on, let's say you sign on with your goal, with your coach, with your trainer, with your new job, whatever it is, during these like harder times, like when schedules are crazy, when you're not exactly sure what your meals are going to be, it's going to be extra hard. Okay. So then when you're successful, how much more like successful are you going to feel knowing that like, okay, you not only completed your mission, but you completed your mission with an added layer of difficulty. So that is like the mindset I have personally. Like, okay, for example, I'm in the gym. I see the weight. That's scary. I don't want to do it. In that situation, I'm going to have to add more weight. So so it's the same. But anyway, yeah, sorry. That was supposed to be an intro, but it ended up being my
Nah, that's
technology.
all good. I mean, that's all good. Like when you say they decline, they just quit and stuff. Like they'll do it, but they're not consistent.
Like like yeah, some of the clients, it depends on the situation, but in this exact situation, I think it
Right,
comes to like they commit, around, let's say they're committing around the fall and they fall off before the year ends. And I
right,
have a couple that I think are going to do that. That's just because people tend to be it's easy to react on emotions, right? And be like, oh my God, this trainer's in front of me, or this goal is in front of me. I have this Christmas party in December I want to look good for, or I have a photo shoot in a couple weeks and I think like I need to see if I can figure it out under the wire, something like that.
right.
Um, you're not looking at the long term. Okay. And that's the whole thing. It's not like you just get to a goal and then you just win the game and then your life is over. Like there's gonna be more, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So for them, some people aren't looking outside the smaller situation and like putting it like perceptualizing it into like the whole of their life, which is okay. That's a skill that you have to practice. And also simply, people just don't want to do it. And we live in a
yeah,
way, I mean, we live in a way these days where unfortunately the world around us has made our life easy. Okay. So what does that mean? Like, okay, since it's so easy, we don't have to overcome very many challenges just to go about our day-to-day life, meaning we don't actually build up that so when problems do arise, whether it be physical or mental,
yeah.
they have a big issue because they've never seen the problems before. It's like when
Motherfucker.
yeah, go for
Yeah, I need a sit. I got a pillow.
it. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think it's a matter of they don't have the inner I wouldn't even say it's motivation because the motivation is there. That's the thing. The motivation is there, but the problem is the motivation goes away. So what's
Right.
underneath the motivation? Like, is there a strong why? Because that's what's going to keep you going. For most people, if that why is a short term goal, they're going to have short term results. So, and like I said, most people just don't want to do it because it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. I mean, it's a hard thing to do to be consistent in the gym, to train with a trainer, and I'm a hard trainer. I'm not gonna lie. So
What
I
you what
understand.
you no, what you like, what you offer your clients, like, what it, how do they benefit from you, from your experience as a trainer?
So uh, I'll start with saying when I can't tell you without telling you a little bit of backstory. I used to be super overweight. I lost about 80 pounds in my journey, a little over 80 pounds. I wanted to be a bodybuilder, so I started my journey in about 5.5 years ago. I lost a little bit of weight. I whatever. Here I am now, right? So
Mhm.
I have been through a lot of things with the nutrition, with the training, with the supplements, with other clients. I'm sorry, with other coaches, like with coaches that I've hired. I've done various, various styles of training and such. So my experience in itself is I think a big component to why I'm successful and why it works. And because anyone can pick up that that book, the NASM book or
Yeah,
whatever it is, and get their cert or whatever, and try to train. But the difference between a good trainer and a great trainer is pairing your knowledge and your experience and adapting it, like pairing those together and adapting it to each client. So what I mean by that is you're going to have to personalize each individual thing to exactly that person. That's what people don't realize is you have to have the experience first to know what it is, and then you have to have the knowledge then to to take action afterwards. But anyway, so my experience, I have formal education. I am double certified. I've been a trainer for a few years. But anyway, to answer your original question, which was, how do they benefit from me? Um, when it comes to my training, I'll directly say my training. Uh, I train people in person, and those people I see a few times a week. And I also, they are expected to train on their own, which they don't always do. And then I have a coaching business, so I'm just going to talk about the in person clients because I think that's what you're asking. So I I think halfway already answered it, but the other half is many clients need somebody to hold their hand. But then
yeah,
again, there's some clients that genuinely need the education. So we do a consultation and we figure out like where is this person at? So the answer can vary, but in general, I would say a big part of my training is intensity, and a big part of why they get results is the intensity, because that's actually what matters. So it doesn't matter. Of course, we want their numbers, their I'm sorry, we want their performance and the weight lifted to go up. But what I'm more concerned about, strictly from a results like basis, is intensity in the gym. That goes for everyone who's doing anything. Like you can't go there and just go through the motions if you want something to happen. If you go
yeah,
through the motions, you're gonna get maintenance. But if some people don't know how to train to that point, or they need someone to push them to that point, because not everyone has that intrinsic like I don't know what to call it, like grittiness is what I called it last time, but it's more of like that spirit of like pushing yourself to the max, like being able to not only tolerate it but to look for it, seek it out. So a big I mean, I will say a lot of times I feel like a therapist because the clients need, sometimes they just need somebody to talk to, and that's fine, right? That's fine. But if it starts to get in the way of the workout, then I'm gonna have to start charging double, I guess.
yeah,
But yeah, so intensity education is my other like main pillar. I want to make sure they have the correct knowledge, and I tend to over educate a little bit. I think just because I've been in a situation where I didn't know anything, and because I didn't know anything, it went poorly for a long time. And then you've got your habits down or whatever, and then you're trying to do something different and it's a little late for that. So I'm trying to correct their lifestyle habits. Meanwhile, I'm also very interested in correcting their like day-to-day, like physical movement patterns and all that stuff. I am One of the priorities I have kind of developed over the years is getting people to move right I don't know if that's really a personal trainer thing or more of a like a sports science kind of thing. But I know physical therapists spend most of their time doing this uh, for a good reason too, because a lot of the people that come to me have some mm, major problems with how they walk and stand and just use their
Yeah,
body. So the goal is to get that corrected, so no more risk for injury. And then for those older folks, just keeping them stable and try to keep them as safe as possible, as healthy as possible for as long as possible. So that's another thing I keep in mind when I'm training them. Um, yeah, so I'm trying to improve their overall life, I guess. I'm kind of like trying to do it all. But I think that when it comes to personal training or training in general, they're
yeah,
hiring us. They're hiring us for who you are as a trainer. They're not hiring you for the knowledge that you like read about or whatever. Like you need to, have a certain level of connection with them. And that's something that like that's the heart of why I do it for me. Because I I mean, I love to connect with people and I love to, help them lead them and help them to their next, milestone, whatever. Um, but now I forgot what I was talking about. Dang.
no,
Okay.
I